Welcome to this class. I know you have missed it, and I've missed yours too. Okay, so today we'll be looking at fraction. Previously, we looked at division of numbers. Not that we are done, but remember what I said. Keep on practicing. Keep on rewatching those video lessons. Keep on retaking those lessons. The more you practice division, the better they become. And now we are talking about fraction. Fraction still means division. Okay? But here we'll be introducing the concept of fractions. Here we'll be looking at what fraction is, what are the parts of fractions, what are the different types of fractions. That's what we look at. Okay? Then we'll look at like fractions and we'll just simply look at addition of like fractions. Okay? We simply look at addition of like fractions before we continue. Then we will also look at conversion in fraction. How to convert from one type of fraction to another type of fraction and vice versa. Now, having said that, what is a fraction? Sometimes when mommy goes to Domino's to get a pizza, the mommy gets one pizza and mommy will say, hey, come and take. Let's say mommy shared this pizza into 4, for example. And then we say, Dum take this one. So we take this one. Then your baby take this one. And mommy takes this one. You notice that here it is one pizza, but 4 persons took. So me, baby, and mommy took. Did they take a whole pizza? No, they took parts of the pizza, right? Now you see that if Dum takes her part, nothing is left. If Somi takes her part, what is left? Baby's and mommy's part. If baby comes and takes his part, mommy's part remains. If mommy now takes her own part and eats it, there is no pizza. The pizza is finished. Okay? Now you notice that when we now separate the pizza or we share the pizza, we share them in different parts. Now each part of the pizza is called a fraction of the whole pizza. We have one whole pizza and we have different parts in which that one whole was shared. So the part you took is called a fraction of the whole pizza. The part Somi takes is a fraction of the whole pizza. The part for the baby is a fraction of the whole pizza. The mommy's part is a fraction of the whole pizza. So, in other words, we look at fraction as a part of a whole. This is one whole marker. If I take this part of the marker, I've taken a fraction of the whole marker. Okay? So we can simply say that a fraction is a part of a whole. A fraction is a part of a whole. Okay? So let's write it down. We'll say a fraction is a part of a whole. What it means is that before fraction exists, there must be a whole. There must be something in existence. Then when we now start sharing that particular thing to different persons, for example, the pizza kits, you now notice that each part each person take is a fraction of the whole pizza that was shared. Okay? So we can also say that a fraction is a number that have a numerator and a denominator. So we can say here, also, a fraction is a number with a numerator and a denominator. So if I have something like 2 over 3, this is a fraction. Okay? Now 2 is called the numerator, while 3 is called the denominator. Alright? So the number up in a fraction is called the numerator, while the number down is called the denominator. Are you not seeing that this looks like division? It looks like division of numbers. So that's why I told you that when we talk about fractions, we are also talking about division. Alright? So the number up is called what? Numerator. The number down is called what? Denominator. Now let's look at different types of fractions. Types of fractions. Now there are 3 major types of fraction. We have the proper fraction, we have the improper fraction, and we have the mixed fraction. These are the 3 major types of fraction. Then we cannot compare fractions. Now, when 2 fractions have the same denominator, those 2 fractions are called like fractions. So we also put that into consideration. Now, let's now look at the meaning and how to identify a proper fraction from an improper fraction and also a mixed fraction. Fraction identification, okay? Like I said we have 3 types of fractions. Number 1, we have the proper fraction. So let's explain it immediately. A proper fraction is a fraction whose numerator is less than the denominator. Examples, we have 1 over 2, 5 over 7, 11 over 19, 100 over 537, 13 over 27, and so on and so forth. Okay? So we say that a proper fraction is a fraction whose numerator is less than the denominator. A fraction whose numerator is less than the denominator. 1 over 2, 5 over 7, 11 over 19, 100 over 337, 13 over 27. Now you can see that the numerators are smaller than the denominator. So we say that they are proper fractions. If your daddy carries you on his head, it is proper because he is bigger than you. The small girl is up while the big daddy is down. Now what if you carry your daddy? Will you say it's proper? No, and that leads us to the second type of fraction called the improper fraction. Since the proper fraction says that the numerator is smaller than the denominator, meaning that a dad can carry his child, but when his child carries the dad, it becomes improper. So an improper fraction is now a fraction whose numerator is bigger than the denominator. A fraction whose numerator is bigger than the denominator or is greater than the denominator. So we can now say here that an improper fraction is a fraction whose numerator is greater than the denominator. Example, we have something like, let's say, 5/3, let's say 7/4, 15/9, 37/21, 191/83, and so on and so forth. So all fractions that the numerator are bigger than the denominator are called improper. A child carrying the father or a child carrying the mother. It is improper. This is not proper. Okay? So when the numerator is bigger than the denominator, it becomes an improper fraction. But when the numerator is smaller than the denominator, it becomes a proper fraction. So the third type of fraction is the mixed fraction. The mixed fraction. Now, when we talk about mixed fractions, the name implies mixed, meaning that it is a combination of two things, two or more things. Now, the mixed fraction is a fraction that is made up of a whole number and a proper fraction. A mixed fraction is a fraction that is made up of a whole number and a proper fraction. A mixed fraction is a fraction that is made up of a whole number and a proper fraction. Examples, let's say I have two whole number, 1/2. You can see two whole number, 1/2. A whole number and a proper fraction. Okay? It is pronounced as two whole number, 1/2, or 2.5. 2.5, because 1/2 means half. Okay? 1/2 means half. 1/4 means quarter or 1/4. 1/3 means 1/3. Okay? Okay, so this is 2.5. Alright? So if I have here, let's say I have 12 whole number 1/3. This will be called 12 whole number 1/3, or you call it 12 and 1/3. 12 and 1/3. Then if I have another one, let's say here I have 5 whole number 1 over 4. Then you call this 5 and 1 quarter. Okay? Okay? I can have here to be 6 whole number 2 over 3. etc. So these are examples of mixed fractions. There are examples of mixed fractions. There are examples of mixed fractions. So we say that when we are comparing two fractions together, they can now become like fractions or unlike fractions. So let's look at like fractions. Let me call it number 4. Like fractions. Now, like I said, like fractions are fractions that have the same denominator. Like fractions are fractions that have the same denominator. So, let's say like fractions are fractions with the same denominator. Examples of like fractions are 5 over 9 and 5 over 9 and 7 over 9 are like fractions because they have 9 as the denominator. Alright? 4 over 27, 13 over 27, and 19 over 27. These three fractions are like fractions because they all have 27, 27, 27 as the denominator. Okay? They are called like fractions because they all have 27 as their denominator. So, like fractions are any fraction that are two or more fractions, because one fraction cannot be a like fraction. Two or more fractions whose denominators are the same are called like fractions. So, you now see, in today's lesson, we are simply looking at what is fractions, what is a fraction, what are the parts of a fraction, what are the different types of fractions. Okay? In our next class, we will now look at addition and subtraction of like fractions. We will look at what? Addition and subtraction of like fractions. I'll take it bit by bit so that it won't be too much dumping of information on you. Alright? So take your time, rewatch and pay attention to the explanations, write down your notes and take down your points. Okay? Okay? Alright. Let me quickly give you an assignment to do for me. An assignment, let me student assignment. Do this part. Homework. One. What is a fraction? 2. List, mention the types of fractions. Mention the types of fractions. Number 3. Identify the following fractions. Identify the following fractions. 3 over 37 over 21. B 37 over 21. B 51 over 93. Say C 13 whole number 3 over 11. D 97 whole number 54 over 100. So, do these assignments for me and send them to me. What is a fraction? Tell me what a fraction is. Mention the different types of fractions. Then identify the following fractions: 37 over 21, 51 over 93, 13 whole number 3 over 11, 131 over 2000, 143, 97 whole number 54 over 100. So identify the different types of fractions we wrote here. If this is a proper fraction, you tell me it's proper. If this is proper, you tell me it's proper. If this is proper, you tell me it's proper. If this is proper, you tell me it's proper. If this is proper, you tell me it's proper. Tell me the different fractions here. Name them. Okay? Identify which fraction does these belong to. Is that okay? So that will be your assignment, and I will be looking forward to get them from you. Peace. See you in our next class. Bye.